Welcome to the Battle of Pros. We have the best from the Android ecosystem, the Google Pixel 7 Pro, and we have the Apple iPhone 14 Pro. They both are the best that you can buy in India from both the ecosystem, and they're both touted as the best camera smartphones currently available. This one is priced at 1,29,999. This one is priced at 79,999. That was an introductory offer of the price, but actually the price is 84,999, which is about 85k. Let's give it one more rupees and make it a round figure. That's better off 130k and 80k. Now you might say that this should be compared with the 14 Pro Max, but this makes a lot of sense because A, the price point is not that wider, and B, also this one weighs about 209 grams and this one, Apple 14 Pro, weighs about 206 grams. So they both are seemingly light to hold in your hand, and they both feel very rich and very refined. So let's begin the shootout, and let's start with the Pixel Pro first. Now the Pixel Pro is actually a damn good looking phone. The moment you hold it, you realize that you're holding something very expensive, very well carved out, a smartphone. It is totally very distinguished from whatever is available in the Android ecosystem. But somehow, the more you start playing it, you start falling in love with the stock Android feel because Google just nails it with that. But where 14 Pro really scales over is the camera department. Yes, this is undoubtedly a better camera smartphone, but if you're not in the Apple Android system, then this one definitely is the one to go for. There's also Samsung S22 Ultra, which we'll again be testing in the near future, and then there's S23 coming. Now the screen resolution is also very dynamic. This both have very crisp display, and you can really get lost in the whole display. So it's very submersive to feel with. What also is very good is in the Apple is the dynamic island, which is so much talked about, and it's actually a very interesting feature. You suddenly begin to feel that how Apple has really killed it with the notch, which was trolled, and they made it a marketing gimmick. This is something totally which is a thing which only Apple can do. Pixel, on the other hand, have been quiet for some time after the 6A launch, and they suddenly dropped this bombshell, which is very good looking. They've also given us a Pixel 7, which is not the Pro version, which has everything on a very miniature side, but also a good looking smartphone. That review is also there in the link below, and the top link on the top. You can click in case you want to know more about it. Now let me show you some camera comparison that we've done, and here are the samples for you to watch. Let me tell you the main specs. Both of them, the main shooter in the 14 Pro case is about 48 megapixel, and this one comes with about 50 megapixel, and they both have really done a great job with camera enhancements. They both can do cinematic shoots, but the 14 Pro does a job little better, but the Pixel also has great enhancements in that because it doesn't blur. The colors are vivid right through the thing, as you can see right now. Google has been playing a lot with their softwares. If you put the lens on, and if I'm going to put and search, then this will tell me a result of what this is. As you can see right now, it's showing up Top Gear, all our parent magazines. That's pretty close because this didn't get it right, but for example, if I look at this, it'll look for result and it'll get the bikes on display. So if you look at face, if you look at a lot of things, this actually works. Let me try this with my own image if this is reflecting. So let's see if you can get it. Looking for results. They got the car exactly right. This is McLaren, and let's get it display. So this is a very cool feature of the Google, and this really, let's see if they can get this car in the frame right now, and there you go. Looking for results on the venue. Good job, Google. Good job on this. The Pixel 7 Pro uses an aluminum frame and Gorilla Glass Victors on the front and the back. The slightly curved front glass is more prone to cracks in that sense of the term. The iPhone 14 Pro uses stainless steel and has ceramic shield coating on the front glass. The curved edges on the iPhone looks more premium, and somehow it feels slightly more premium to hold. Of course, if you are an Apple fanboy, then this will not make sense to you. Let's talk about the display. They both have 120 Hz of refresh rate and they both are LTPO. Now the Pixel 7 Pro has 6.7 inch of QHD plus AMOLED display and it can be scaled down to 10 Hz. On the 14 Pro, this is actually FHD plus AMOLED display and 6.1 inch, so the screen size is little, of course, smaller, but this is more handy to hold. At the same time, this refresh rate can be scaled down to 1 Hz. Always on display also is a hit and miss. It also tends to save a lot of battery, though you cannot switch it off, but you have to really go inside the setting, do that. And I suggest that you should do that because this consumes a lot of battery. But if you switch it off, then the battery can be enhanced. Overall, they both feel very premium, but if you're looking at a longer period of time, the iPhone 14 Pro display would definitely look more pleasing to your eyes. Let's talk about the engine or the processor or what's running these two phones. The Pixel 7 Pro comes with the latest G2 Tensor from Google, and of course the Apple comes with the A16 Bionic processor, which is supremely fast. Apple's A16 Bionic chip is built on the latest 4nm technology, whereas Pixel relies on the 5nm form factor, which is disappointing to say the least. When you're using it, you will tend to do multitasking much better on the iPhone 14 Pro. This somehow lacks that. So in your daily usage, I found this one to be not as, of course it's good. It's not that it's not really up to the mark. It does its job very well, but when you do a comparison test, then this one scores over here. Clearly, Google is not really focused too much on the hardware. They have given a very nice Android stock feel. They've really bumped it up with the software, and that makes this proposition also very attractive. But on the processor game, 14 Pro wins hands down. Let's talk about the battery. The Pixel 7 Pro comes with 5000 mAh of battery. iPhone 14 Pro, well, we are not sure. Apple doesn't announce that, but we all know a cheeky way of knowing that this comes with about 3200 mAh of battery. But it doesn't matter how much mAh of battery it comes with. It also depends on how you use it. If you're going to watch a movie like for 6 hours in a day, then even 10,000 mAh is less. If you're watching on 4K, if you're watching on total display, it also depends on how many tabs are open, how much multitasking you're doing. But it all comes down to how fast the charging capacities are. The Pixel 7 Pro takes the cake here because this supports 30 watts wired charging and 20 watts of wireless charging. In the case of 14 Pro, this still comes with 23 watts of wired charging and 15 watts of wireless charging. They both don't give a brick, which is the most annoying factor because you have to go out and shell additional money to buy the brick. That's something which is always disturbing. They should start giving bricks. That's my only request. In the name of ecology, they're saving too much in the packaging and the otherwise, but a brick here and there will really save a lot of time and energy. It's time to conclude. It's not an apple to apple comparison, but if you are into the Apple ecosystem, then the 14 Pro is just the right one for you. But if you're somebody who's already using the 13 Pro, then you don't have too many incremental reasons to upgrade. But if you're into someone who shoots a lot of pictures, who's into action photography, then the 14 Pro has really nailed the game because this have taken it several notches up, especially with action photography and videography. Of course, also the dynamic island. It is something which is a little quirky feature, but it somehow grows on you. 14 Pro has taken some incremental steps. It's not something which is very, very different from 13 Pro. If you're with 13 Pro, you can actually be sticking to that one. Now, when it comes to the Google space, the Android ecosystem, I think there's not any great phone than the Pixel, which is into a stock Android. It gives you that feeling in terms of softwares. It has too many features, especially with photography. You can get the pictures unblurred, also with the Google Lens. All of those features really makes it stand out. If you're somebody who's looking for a good Android phone and also has a snob value, and the Pixel might just light up a lot of pixels around you. Do drop us in the comments what you like about this. It is again not an apple to apple comparison, but hey, then there is a comparison of the ecosystems, and the ecosystems is not a single clear winner because both of them have their part. But if you're somebody who wants to really buy a premium smartphone, then both of them can really fit a lot of bill. There's also a Samsung in the play, but it is a little generation old now. The S23 is around the corner. When that comes, we'll come back to that. But this one with this price point is somehow, I feel, a very attractive proposition. Do drop us in the comments what you think about it, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until the next one, you take care.